Perfect.
Thank you for your time.
First of all, thanks for this conversation, and it's a pleasure to have this possibility of speaking with you and to search about the creative process of your work. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very good, thanks.
Where are you right now? I'm a little voyeuristic, and I'm seeing the elephants in the back of you,
Yeah.
and it's amazing.
Yeah, I'm at the moment, I'm not in Italy. I'm in Germany, in the south of Germany. And because I was on the way back from the tour that I've been doing in Europe, and I cannot go home because my wife has COVID, so I have to wait for a few days that she gets negative, and so I found a beautiful place in the mountains in the south of Germany, where I'm staying here probably in 2-3 days more. And so this is a place, it's called Schlosselmau, and it's a place that I knew in the past because I've been coming here for concerts, also because it's a place, it's a sort of retreat where they invite musicians to perform and to rest and to give concerts for the people that comes here.
Well, let's start with that, with the COVID and the lockdown, and the difference between being in a lockdown and making music and being in isolation, voluntary to make music. It's the same, or it's quite of different to be in a creative process in a obligatory lockdown?
Well, the situation of the obligatory lockdown to me was special because I think I could feel that all the world was in a way quiet, because sometimes when you isolate yourself from the world, you still feel the noise of the world. In my experience, in my personal experience, for me, the lockdown in 2020 was very different, because I could feel that I was feeling like when I was like a child, that nobody was disturbing in a way my peace, and also I not seeing airplanes in the sky, feeling that or listening that for example in many parts of the world the water was becoming cleaner, and the sky, the pollution was going away, with all the talks that we do all the time about how to solve the problem of pollution and the problem of the climate change. Suddenly it seems very easy. It seemed that if we humans would have the courage and the patience to step back and leave the nature, breathe a bit more, it would be probably more easy to solve that problem. Anyway, when I was feeling that silence, that quietness around me, and also the fact that I was making music and I didn't know if this music was going to be part of the world for the future, because nobody knew what was going to be, what was going to happen. This gave me a sort of strange and new freedom of making just something for the pleasure of doing it, without any any secondary thoughts that you usually have when you are creating and you know that you are going to record music because you have to release a new album. I didn't have any idea if I would have released another album or not. So I was just creating music, and suddenly after a couple of months of this, I realized that I had a lot of new beautiful material in my hands, and this came out almost without effort, without just because I was spending some time on my piano every day, and the music almost came by itself.
As you were telling, this situation is like if you don't have nothing to lose, then you can have all the freedom to experiment and to go to paths
Yeah,
that in other circumstances maybe you will never walk.
exactly, and you can explore things, ideas that maybe usually you don't. You stop before they come because you think, oh, no, this is not maybe the case of doing that. In my case, in that time, I was just letting the music flow, and this was a good decision. Actually, I I kept doing it for a while, and so I think I have. I release Underwater, but I have many more pieces that are still there that I could decide to release in the future.
Let me say that in this period, as you were saying, it's a period of a silent and it's a void, but also it was a period that the music and the art could fill the void for millions of people. And I'm thinking about your contribution in the soundtracks of Nomadland or The Father, that your music is also another character in this kind of art. How do you resolve to put this ingredient in the idea of the director and of the actors, and to be not intrusive, but to become another character and to be the main ingredient in most of the parts?
Well, in the case of Nomadland, I have to say that the director Chloe Zhao contacted me and asked me the permission to use some of my music that she discovered, and actually she told me something very beautiful, because she was stuck with the editing and she didn't know how to proceed, and then when she found my music, she told me that the music gave her the direction of how to organize and structure the movie. And so and actually the way the music has become part of the film is a work that Chloe Zhao did, because she plays it in those moments, and so I have to thank her, because she did a great job, a great value to the music also in the way it's combined with the images and the story. In the case of The Father, the situation was slightly different, because Florian Zeller was asking me, he also started with the idea of using one of my pieces, but he asked me to work on variations and to create some variation around it, and also to compose one last piece that is the end of the film, that is very touching. There's a sort of monologue of Anthony Hopkins, and it's a very dramatic moment, and it's an incredible interpretation of by him, and so this I had to accompany this last moment, and it was like something that has to be very ethereal, at the same time emotional, and so it was not easy. But at the end, I was very satisfied, and I think even Zeller was happy, and so I think we were all very much convinced about how it came, how it went. So, but the father was a work that I managed to create just before the pandemic, because this was a work that I'd done at the end of 2019, even if the film was then postponed in the production and in the release.
I'm very curious about the creative process of you making music for movies. How is it? Does the director send you the script or the director send you the movie, the first editing, and after that you going to use your imagination and there imagine in which part are the very pieces of music that could be accompaned, or is in the other side you have the music and after that you can accompany them?
Well, it's a mix of it's a combination of all these possibility together, because sometimes you are able to see the film that is already edited, and maybe sometimes it has already some of your music, of my music on inside, that was useful for the director and the editor to structure the film, to edit the scenes. Sometimes I receive the script, so I have to imagine something without seeing anything, and maybe you send some ideas, and then one of or two of these ideas, they create a connection with the story in the mind of the director, and they say, okay, this could be the main theme, it could be perfect maybe, and they sometimes they even like to share those ideas with the actors while they are preparing the scenes, while they are studying their parts, and they are making the first rehearsals. At the times, I mean, it really depends when they decide to contact you. When sometimes everything is almost finished and you arrive at the end. Sometimes they think that the music has an important role, and they come to you at the very beginning. So it's it really depends from film to film, and of course, if I'm if I start, the sooner I start, the more time I have to think, to explore ideas, and I think it's the best solution.
Every time that I listen to your work, I always thinking that you're a magnificent piano player, but also you are a magnificent contributor to the art of other people. In which moment do you are aware that you are enjoying your work, but also improving the work of others?
What do you mean improving the work of others?
If we see, for example, if we are seeing some movie, some art of other of a director, it could be
Okay.
a magnificent piece. But
Okay.
when you put the music, it's another kind of art.
Well, of course, music creates. Sometimes is able to create another layer of depth that sometimes the images by itself they don't have. There was an interesting program on TV many years ago done by Luciano Berio, an Italian composer, and he was um, showing that you take a film and you change when you change the music with the same scene, and you really can change the direction of the emotion of the story, and it's really interesting how a music can add something very important to a film, and sometimes you don't realize it, but if you take it away, you see the difference.
You are on isolation right now, but you are preparing to come to Mexico and you're preparing to go on tour. How is your relation with the audience? When you are in front of some public that are willing to hear your music, what are your main feelings? How do you feel about being this kind of man that can transmit some kind of certainty on those uncertainty times?
Well, it's very beautiful uh, to uh, to be in a way to be able to capture all the energy of the audience and to send it back and to play with it because it's a beautiful exchange of energy that you can have during a concert. And so I start to enjoy more and more because the reaction now is growing everywhere because the people while years ago they maybe were less familiar with my music. Now I like to play with the expectation and the familiarity that my music has, so I know that at a certain point there will be a reaction for that piece or the other piece, and it's very beautiful because it's a smile that you give, and you feel the smile from the abrazo that comes back from the audience.
It's great to feel that the people are hugging you and making all this virtuous circle. In the beginning of this conversation, you were telling me that you go in the pandemic going to paths that you weren't chosen in other circumstances. Where are you right now? In which path are you transiting?
Sorry, can you say in the in you mean in which creative path? What is
That's
your
right.
question exactly?
That's right. In which creative path are you right now? In which creative road are you going in the next months, in the next years?
Well, I have many many ideas, many projects, and I think the piano, in a way, is going to be. I still have the feeling that going is going to be my friend for the years to come, and I like explore its sound, its possibilities, and every time it gives me the desire to try another level of out from this instrument. So I am very much enjoying now to perform part of the concert in solo and part of the concert with other musicians. But I will anyway. I feel it will continue to be with me for years to come, and so I don't know. It's I have the feeling, and I always have the feeling that searching and searching, there will be if you don't allow yourself to be happy with the first idea that arrives, but with the second or the third one, there could be a new window that you open and you see a different land or a different mountain that you haven't seen before, and you discover a new part of emotion that you haven't discovered before. So I think I still have feel that there are some windows to open in my future repertoire, and I'm looking forward to explore it.
Hopefully we will have the opportunity to look at those windows with your art, and I very honored to be today with you in this conversation, Mr. Einaudi. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure.
A pleasure.
This is the last one.
Bye.
Yeah, see you soon here in Mexico.
Yes. Okay. Ciao. Grazie.
Bye.
Ciao. Bye.